Grow your practice, grow your wealth, grow your impact. Find out how to spend less time in the dental chair and more time on the things you love.
Welcome back to the Dental Wealth Podcast. I'm really glad to have you back. During this time, it's I usually try to get one of these done once a week, and so the last few weeks it's been a little bit more sporadic. So I appreciate your patience. I think I'm lucky enough that I get to serve so many amazing doctors, and very called to do that during this time. But I'm glad to be back with you, and I want to share a message. And someone said to me recently, I was recently asked to be on a live stream, and I said, I really don't want to talk about loans anymore, and I don't want to talk about PPP, and I don't want to talk about EIDL and unemployment law, and I really want to talk about what matters right now. And so if you want me to talk about those things, I'm just not interested. So I turned down about 5, 7, I don't know, so many live streams. And I said, it's not pertinent right now. And someone said to me, Eric, one of the things you do right now is you're speaking in a way that no one else is speaking. And I appreciate that comment. And so I'll be on a live stream for a group here in Georgia on Friday. But my philosophy is more of what we call abundance mindset. And if you're a listener of this podcast, you've heard me talk about abundance mindset. But someone recently said to me, they said it was a doctor. It was a doctor said to me, I think it was Tuesday, said, Eric, it's funny. You've been saying this stuff for as long as I've known you, and you've been talking about this. And it's so interesting to see you be consistent during this time. And I said, I'd love to take credit for that, but the truth is these are what we call business fundamentals. And just like anything else, we move past the fundamentals, whether it's tennis or business, we tend to move past fundamentals because we think we've got it down. And the idea of scarcity versus abundance mindset is a fundamental. And you have to realize that the human brain's wired for scarcity, right? It's got to protect yourselves and protect resources and think through that. So we have this natural tendency to think through scarcity mindset and be more scarce in our resources. But to be a millionaire or billionaire, or to become highly successful, you have to think abundantly. And so what I mean by that in this time, and being very, this is during the COVID crisis, and some of you might be listening to this in November or something, but during this time, and it's actually, I loved it for you to listen to it in November, because you'll see that what I'm talking about today is true in November, and it's true today, that right now, everybody's focused on scarcity, and which is, I don't have enough money. I need to have the government give me some loans. I need to have unemployment for my team members. And I'm not saying these things are not important. Like, understand that I'm not saying they're not important. What I'm saying is that scarcity mindset will not help you grow your business, and it will not help you get back to where you need to be. That those things are important to do. It's important to focus on making sure that if the PPP loan's available, you get it. I'm not going to talk about the fact that some people said delay it, which I could not disagree more. And those that have decided to delay are going to end up probably not being able to get it. Hope that they do, but I'd be surprised. Because that was scarcity mindset. The idea of delaying the PPP funds is scarcity mindset, by the way. And the difference is the abundance mindset. Abundance mindset says there's a unlimited number of opportunities. There's an unlimited number of ways we can grow. There's an unlimited, all we have to do is be focused on growth, opportunity, and how we can become better during this time versus contracting, right? If we spend all our time contracting and in this phase of contraction, and we believe it just in contracting and scarce and hold resources, it's actually like an energy and you can't flow from it. And so all of your time, energy, and belief is around this idea of conservation, which, don't get me wrong, there's some times for conservation, but there's also this time for abundance, which is to say, okay, right now in the marketplace, who's marketing? Well, nobody, right? It's interesting that people have pulled back dramatically from communicating, and they're not even communicating with their current patients, let alone future patients. So we go back down to this and we start actually looking at it, we go, let me think about this for a moment. So right now, 2 months ago I was marketing, but there was a lot of noise. There was a lot of traffic, but now there's none. 2 months ago, if I put out a Facebook Live video, nobody would have watched it. But today, a lot of people would watch it because I'm, by the way, a medical professional. People want to hear my voice. By the way, if you are a medical professional, then people want to hear what you have to say about COVID. So then we start to go, okay, well, what other opportunities are? Opportunities to train our team, opportunity to look at ways to grow coming out of this. By the way, there's going to be acquisition opportunities coming out of this. And I'm going to tell you, most dentists will be slow to move out of this. Most dentists will be slow to move. It's just a fact. And so as most dentists are slow to move, you'll have opportunity because there will be practices for sale and they will be on discount. And I'm not saying we take advantage of people's misfortune. What I'm saying is you're actually going to be helping them out. And so that's abundant. And you got to think like right now. So if you were thinking, hey, Eric, what do I need to do to position my practice to be in the shape that it needs to be in so that I come out of this thing roaring? Like I've got a doctor right now, literally, who's going to look for an associate because he's booked so much treatment. I want you to hear me for a second. He's booked so much treatment while he's been closed that he can't handle it all when he opens back up. See, while every other dentist was talking about PPP loans, he was going to work. While everybody was focused on the lack of resources, he was promoting. He went to work, and I'm so proud of him, in this abundant mindset on saying, look, there's so many opportunities and no one's even going after them. No one's communicating with the marketplace. Nobody's talking, and I'm going to be the dentist that does it. That's abundance mindset. By the way, because so many doctors with associates are not going to do the things they were supposed to be doing, there's going to be a lot of associates in the marketplace that are looking for a job. There's going to be a lot of hygienists in the marketplace looking for a job. There's going to be a lot of assistants. All of you that say, I can't find an assistant, guess what? They're going to be everywhere. So it's like a new economy. And one of the things I've always said on this podcast, right, is winter was coming. Winter came. It has come. But spring is coming and it's around the corner. And if you're not prepared for spring, you're making a giant mistake. And so I would tell you right now, as you listen to this podcast, it is not a time for scarcity. This is not a time for scarcity. This is not a time to shut down. This is not a time to hoard every dollar. It's a time to invest. It's a time to grow. It's a time to build. It's a time to look for opportunity. I was going through my feed the other day and I came across something I've seen before, but I think it's more relevant right now than ever. And it says this: study while others are sleeping, decide while others are delaying, work while others are wishing, listen while others are talking, and persist while others are quitting. And I want to really hang on that last one for a second. Persist while others are quitting. People around you have quit. They've stopped. They're in scarcity. They're mowing their lawns instead of focusing on their business. They're more concerned about what's going on in Netflix than they are about making sure that hygiene's booked out, or restorative's booked out, or teledentistry's booked out, or the options in the marketplace. So right now, what I need you to do is I need you to focus on abundance. I need you to focus on getting your teams back to work. I need you to focus on breaking out your teams into different groups. And I need you to do that because as you do that, you'll have a different mindset. By the way, your peers won't be doing this. And that's okay. You want to be the 1%. Do what others are not willing to do. That's the difference. Go to work. There's so much work to be done and to get ready for. There's so much work to be done. And if you put your mind and thought and energy around that right now and really focus on that, you're going to see that you'll come out of this in a completely different position as everybody else. Now, in the next podcast, I'm going to keep this one a little short because I really just want to focus on mindset right now. I'm going to talk to you about some steps you can take. But it's important right now to get your mindset ready. Listen, share this with people you care about. Share it with people that need to hear a message that's different than scarcity mindset. Share it with watch it 12 times. That's why I kept it short. And get ready to take action because there's all kinds of opportunity. Hey guys, like this, share it, subscribe. We love to have you as part of the audience and we'd love to be consistent in our messaging. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.